40 years of dedication to the community that I have had as a business owner, vice mayor, economic developer, professor.
Asked about her thoughts on other issues, including Obamacare, Bettina said she needed more time to stake out a position, and she ended our interview.
All right, again, the audio is all over the place. Please fix that, Rob. Did you catch the end there? So maybe if they can't get her on Aliens, they try to get her on something. They ask her about her stance on Obamacare, and then she says, end the interview. That the interview is over. And this was only a couple years ago. I don't know.
I appreciate that stance. Instead of like most politicians just deciding exactly what their base wants to hear. She's like, well, hold on. Let me think about it. I haven't had enough time to decide.
Huh.
That's
and
fine.
it's also weird that they say she ends the interview on that question instead of them just showing her doing it, which is what they do right after he said that.
Spinning it, yes.
Here she is being asked about Obamacare.
I have to look more deeply into that.
But Obamacare has been litigated for several years now, and so I'm curious as to why you feel you need a little bit more time to figure out your position on it.
Like I said, I think that we just finished the interview, and
okay.
And I think we're going to leave it at that.
All right, now off camera, Bettina told me that she felt that all of this ridicule has left her guarded, which is why she didn't want to talk about a number of issues from Obamacare to Cuba, even a recent trip to the White House.
Right, she's not answering questions about anything. Forget the aliens. But this poor lady I'd say getting sandbag. I don't know if that's really fair though. You have to answer some questions about stuff. You can't.
Yeah, I feel like she just got nervous and kind of shut down. Like I've had that happen to me a couple of times where you get flustered and like.
I like how she was just like, this has been a really long interview and I'm done with the interview. It's over. So
bye.
I think I gotta go. I think my Uber's here. So
bye.
We just finished the interview. I think we're going to leave it at that.
All right, that's enough.
I kind of feel bad for her. Like, you do have to have some thicker skin if you're going to be in politics. But,
I'm more looking at how like people are going after her, which is, I mean, of course, if you say something like that and you're trying to run, this kind of stuff happens, and it's more than just local.
Good, unfortunately,
no, it's more than just local news. And all she did was say that she was abducted by the aliens at 7. Her story doesn't seem as fantastic as we've heard, but maybe we're just a little jaded. We've heard a lot of stuff.
Well, she's kept contact with them too. They said a couple times. So
of course, telepathic contact, that seems pretty like a natural thing. I mean, if you'd
think they'd be able to help her get elected.
Well, let's find out, because unfortunately it's not just local news that's given poor Bettina the business. Fox News gets into the act also on a show called The Greg Gutfeld Show. Let's hear.
From outer space to the House race. Her name is Bettina Rodriguez Aguilera, and she's one of the Republicans running for the open House seat in Florida's 27th district, a great district. And she claims to have boarded a spaceship when she was 7. Not only that, she told the Miami Herald last year she talks to extraterrestrials telepathically. Now, here's the best part. That same paper, the Miami Herald, just endorsed her in the Republican primary. The question is, do space aliens endorse her?
Okay, by the way, this show's terrible. And you want to know who's laughing? You know who's laughing? I'm pretty sure that's Brodus Clay, a.k.a. Tyrus, the wrestler. You guys know who Brodus Clay or Tyrus is?
Yeah, actually.
The wrestler?
I mean, the name sounds familiar. I'm not that familiar with him as a wrestler.
Yeah, go look up Brodus Clay. But this is a WWE TNA wrestler who's on this Fox show, and he's the one laughing. Why he's on there, I have no idea. So you heard they asked a question there. They asked a question there. Do space aliens endorse her? And the aliens actually respond.
We, the overlords of Galaxy Twayag Smart Spin, after abducting her several years ago, find Bettina to be a very charming human being and a worthy candidate for office. And we are also looking forward to the day when we come to Earth and crush your pitiful species and devour all humans skull by skull. We will revel in your pathetic suffering as we dance upon your seared flesh and broken bones. Also, we really like Greg Gutfeld's monologue book. Where can we order?
All right,
and how do we get tickets to the show? My aunt's in town.
All right, yeah, of course, this is just a big joke. Alien's just a big joke to these guys. Big surprise, she didn't win the seat in Congress with stuff like this happening to her. Never.
She was robbed.
That was pretty funny, though. Yeah, see, and that's the unfortunate thing. It's like, I don't understand how something like that, where it wasn't even that big of a deal, she wasn't trying to convince anybody of anything, and then you have other politicians with way, way worse shit in their closets and in their, like, you know, crime records, and they get elected.
Yeah, where's their alien segments of aliens pushing for them? I don't know. That whole thing was just silly.
Not fair. Yeah.
And this whole thing, they end up doing this whole 7-minute segment on this show. It's just making fun of this woman. And I'm just gonna play one small bit though, because I do want you all to hear the wrestler Brodus Clay, aka Tyrus. He gets a few of his jokes in there too.
Is this so bad? She might have a lot of good qualities.
You know what? I would be really interested to hear her thoughts on immigration. Because now not only a wall, apparently you have to build a roof, too.
Nice.
She's not going to just fly in here, go through the proper channels. Exactly. I don't care who your inside source is.
Exactly.
You got to check your little green ass in at the door like everybody else, bro.
Oh, great.
So, yeah.
You need a green card for green men.
Yes.
Oh, shut up.
So cute.
Yeah, he didn't need to tag that, but whatever. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. That's a good idea of how this went. Just dumb political alien Trump jokes. It was, I don't know, but somehow Brodus Clay, you're gonna get on the soundboard for saying this. Soundboard 5.
You got to check your little green ass in at the door like everybody else, bro.
I don't know why.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Dick. I don't like him. He sounds like such a dick.
Why am I offended right now for like aliens?
Because I know, because it's like, because they're better. One, they're like better than us, and so it's like for people to just demean like that and, you know, make fun of them. It's like, yeah, they could totally just, you know, not help us, but they're trying to help us.
I just feel like there's a gray alien listening, and he's like, "Oh, my little green ass, huh?"
Yeah, and he's like, "I'm not green, I'm gray, you dumb shit."
Yeah, just this group of just dickweeds that are all together to make fun of this lady. Oh my God, what are we doing? I'm not making fun of her. Wait, hold on.
What?
Hold on. Actually, I like her a lot.
I feel bad for her.
But also at the same time, in a realistic thing, aliens all aside, if you can't answer any questions at all and you just have to say...
We just finished the interview, and I think we're going to leave it at that.
So
yeah, like I said, you have to have some thicker skin if you're going to be in politics.
Just don't ask her about Obamacare or aliens, and
or
she's
anything.
Cool, and she's
or
cool.
anything,
really. Just
really.
elect her and let her do her job. Just don't ask her any questions. You don't need to.
And that's really it for Miss Aguilera, this very famous alien abductee. So we're going to move on now, and I've got one, man, this is one I have been waiting for, and this one is...
Located in a small, swampy town in Central Florida.
All right, another very vague one. We're going to Central Florida. This is a Florida haunting. More specifically, a documentary, barely one, on that streaming service where you get your TOA books and the No More TP and California Paranormal. Yeah, the place where you can get all those things. But this is a documentary titled Ghost of Little Hatchie Park. And once again, just stumbled across this, and I was really intrigued by the description, which I'm going to read now. Here it goes. A filmmaker documents his experience as he stays from sunset to sunrise in a deserted park that is rumored to be haunted. An authentic documentary showcasing actual video of paranormal activity. Oh, man, hold on. That sounds real familiar. That is a black flag off the bat. Yeah, remember the description of the Blackwell ghost? It goes like this. This is Blackwell ghost. A filmmaker tries to prove that ghosts are real, but soon regrets his intentions after he finds himself being terrorized in a haunted house by a ghost with a dark past. An authentic documentary that shows actual ghost footage that was captured on camera. Worded a little slightly differently at the end.
For those haters out there who think this is fake, I'll stop you right there.
Well, hold on. And what's going on with this streaming service? As soon as I saw this, is this another Turner Clay, a.k.a. host joint? We got to keep that in mind with this. There's not a lot known about this, and it's only been around a couple years. Who knows how long it's been on the streaming service? It's called Ghost of Little Hatchie Park, and it is directed and stars a young guy named Dylan Schreiner. And here he is now telling us about this journey.
Hello, my name is Dylan Schreiner, and my intention with this documentary is to discover a supposedly haunted place that will accommodate my idea of staying the night from sunset to sunrise, documenting everything I witness. I started to become interested in this idea of making documentaries about ghosts when I was in college, because I made a short film for my class thesis, another documentary about this couple.
Okay, so he wants to find a haunted place in his idea of staying out all night. This dude is not charismatic.
What does that mean?
Shout out WATV.
But this is my idea. My idea of staying in a haunted house is staying at the hotel across the street from the haunted house. That's my idea of it.
He has his idea is sundown to sun up, and he is the only living person on this documentary we're going to be watching. Oh boy! So if you thought that guy is something you really want to pay attention to, wow, here we go. So he talks about that college film that he made, and that just sparked his interest. Let's hear
another documentary about this couple. It started off normal-ish. They were experiencing some strange things like seeing lights and hearing noises in the woods by their house. In my opinion, it turns out we were dealing with something extraterrestrial. Might sound crazy, but ever since then, my whole belief system has been flipped upside down, and I just want to know, within the realm of the supernatural, what's real and what isn't.
Where's that other documentary? It sounds way more interesting than anything going on here.
That reminds me of the California one, the Paranormal California, where he was like, it was ghost, and then in the middle, just a severe right turn into aliens.
Yeah. Just to bring you up his experience. Oh, yeah, by the way, I made this thing where I discovered alien life, and it's kind of made me think about things. Me and my camera. And just like that host guy. This is a guy who seemingly he has no knowledge of ghost hunting, as far as I can tell, and he decides to just turn on a camera, and now he's going to get to the bottom of this whole paranormal thing, lickety-split. He even does it in a third of the time that host does. So here's more about Dylan Schreiner's big plans.
You know, there are a lot of ghost stories and paranormal this and paranormal that, and most of it's probably still made up fiction nonsense perpetuated by loons. But you know, maybe for every 99 that's fake, there's one that's real. But before I can film these ghosts, I have to find a haunted place first. And being that it's 2017, I'm just going to look up haunted places on the internet.
Yeah,
great.
Good idea. That's where you start. You bing it.
Yeah, there are a lot of loons. Yeah, of course. You just do play Soundboard 6. All you got to do is look for...
I'm just going to look up haunted places on the internet.
Okay, I don't know how to introduce it yet.
We've all been there. We've all done it, you know?
Oh, yeah, weekly.
I've got a camera. I've got nothing to do. There's no disease threat that is keeping me from going outside. I'm just going to... I don't know. I think I'm just
going to look up haunted places on the internet.
And there I go, pointing me in the direction. So while he's surfing the web to find this haunted place, he regales us with a haunted story from his own youth.
And there are a lot of nonsense places and clowns out there, so you gotta weed them out. I went to a haunted plantation in Lafayetteville, something like that, Louisiana, when I was 11. And we saw some pretty spooky stuff there. It was terrifying to me.
All right. As a resident of the city, I think he's trying to talk about play Soundboard 7.
Lafayetteville, something like that, Louisiana.
It's Lafayette, Louisiana, as you're talking about. Fayetteville.
He means Lafayetteville. He's talking about Lafayetteville.
There's Lafayette and there's Lafayetteville. That's different. It's a different place.
And a lot like the zombie guy, this guy, he's like, I am just completely terrified, and maybe this is like another thing, another mountain that's going to be overcome, like the zombie thing. That didn't work out. He ended up more scared. I hate to see what's going to happen to him. So his experience in Fayetteville, Lafayette, it really changed him.
Looking back, I don't know if it was ghosts or not, or just my 11-year-old imagination. That's the thing about memory. Time takes everything, even our memories. But nevertheless, it piqued my interest.
Jesus.
What is he saying about memory? This guy, he doesn't even look like he's older than 22, 23 years old. He's not some old guy, like, wistfully looking back at his childhood. It was fairly recent,
dude. He looks like
dude.
a turd. Yeah.
That sounds like something Clint Eastwood would say in, like, a movie now. He'd be like, time takes everything.
Youth.
Even your memories.
Even your memory. It's like, dude, I don't think you were even old enough to go to college.